My name's Phiri Lemack, and from HR, the Human Resources Department. So we also look at a number of keywords that we need to identify and also align as we discuss this very important topic on recruitment. So we have recruitment is the process of identifying, attracting, interviewing, selecting, hiring, and onboarding employees for an organization. They have mentioned coordination, the organization and management of different activities or people to ensure they work together effectively. So in simple terms, when we say coordinate, it is about working together to achieve one common goal. For example, to ensure that we produce copper, that is our core business as NFCA. What is shortlisting? Shortlisting is the process of narrowing down job applicants to identify the most suitable candidate for a role based on predetermined criteria, such as qualification, skills, and experience. When we want to do the process of shortlisting after the advertisement, NFCA as a company will receive a lot of applications. And those applications, we can't call everyone for interviews. So this term, when we say shortlisting, it means we narrow down, we only have few people. Then we have interviews. It is defined as formal meetings where candidates are asked questions to assess their suitability for the job. So we have interview panel. The panel is called the interview panel. So we have people from the department, also a Chinese present, Zambians, professionals in that field, and the recruitment officer. It constitutes what we call interview panel. So we also have security screening. So the definition is background check to determine whether someone meets the required criteria. Hiring. Hiring can be defined as the act, of offering employment to a selected candidate. Induction. So induction, according to our definition, the formal induction of a new employee to the company, its policies and procedures. Orientation, according to our definition, is a process that familiarizes new employees with their work environment. And this includes the laws and the expectation. So definitely when someone has been inducted, they are now handed over to the department. The department also has an important part to do. That is to ensure that people are oriented, for them to understand how you work in those respective departments. So after that person has been oriented, there's what we call onboarding. This is now the overall process of integrating new employees into the organization through hiring, integration. So now after the person has gone through all that, we have another word, engaged. Formally employed or actively involved in work, or in short we say assigned duties. Comply. To act in accordance with rules, policies, laws, or instruction. And then there's another keyword, professionalism, coming from professional. To define professionalism, to start with, it is the conduct, the behavior, and the responsible individual in the workplace. Skill. Skill is the ability to perform a task effectively and efficiently. And for it to be developed through learning, practice, and experience. So this slide will discuss the request to recruit. A recruitment request is a formal document that is used by companies, and NFCA is one of such a company. Companies world over, they start this process by initiating the hiring process of a new employee. So that process, it has the following: the job title. It simply means the official title of the position being filled. So we have the department where the new employee will work. Justification, let me explain the definition, and a brief explanation why the position is necessary. And also, the request to recruit should have information such as required skill and experience for the position. So the last point there is saying the industrial relations officer are the ones that raise the request to recruit in their respective department in coordination with the departmental heads and the manpower officer. So once a request is fully approved, a preparation of a job advert is now put into effect. Preparation of job advert with the input of the department. Both HR and the department provides the information for the advert placement. So when they say the information that needs to be provided for, they have indicated key responsibilities of the job. They have also given us the second part, which is job requirements. There are two types of job advertisement. The word internal, it simply means within the company, for example. And then they have given the second one, which is external, meaning we publish the advert to the public so that people are given the opportunity to apply for employment. There's a last part which says we need to note, okay, that advertisement, as we press the advertisement to the public, they need a minimum of 7 days so that it reaches the intended people and also attract as many applicants as possible. We have identified the process of narrowing job application, which we already discussed in detail. Shortlisting is normally conducted by the Human Resource Department in coordination with the user department. And those people that coordinate shortlisting are professionals, people who understand the position we're looking for. So also, after shortlisting of a successful candidate, the opportunity for them to come to the company is done, for them to attend interviews. And the composition of a panel is established. You remember the interview panel? So as a recruitment officer, we have to ensure that we are compliant, they meet the requirement, the document that they provide. So after shortlisting of successful candidates and they're invited, composition of the panel is also established. What happens? The point 2, it is talking about successful candidates being screened. And that document that we normally prepare, we call it interview memorandum, so that the mine police have a written document coming from HR. Under the security department, we discuss NFCA police crime database screening. There's a document after we prepare the list of those that are coming for interview. Candidates invited are subjected to screening. And before we proceed in doing anything as HR, we ensure that those that are successful, they are screened, and once they have been cleared, then the recruitment officer has to report to the deputy manager and show that this person has been, all these people that came for interviews have been cleared. Then I'm given a go-ahead to proceed to call them and to undergo the next stage. You need to understand there's a word offer of employment. The offer of employment, we call it an offer letter of employment. It's a formal document prepared by the employer to a candidate who has been selected for employment. It contains the name of the candidate, the conditions that are due to them, such as the basic salary, as well as other allowances due to them. The person has the right to accept or reject the offer based on the income. Employment medical examination, here at NFCA we have 2. One, they have to undergo SINOSAM pre-employment medical examination to assess if they are fit for work. Then we also have silicosis medical examination. If someone does not pass these 2 medical examinations, they can't be engaged by our company. That is very strict. Here at NFCA, we have a number of induction programs that take place. So we are talking about safety, health, and environment induction. This is done by the safety department. So for security induction, that list is prepared for safety and also the security section of administration. Those people that have been engaged by our human resource through that process, we have to ensure that we are compliant by having their information sitting in the file. A personal data form basically is a document that contains information about an employee. And then a person has to be a member of NAPSA. So we also issue NAPSA registration form. And also Longhorn membership form for them to be receiving their contributions. So we also have what we call the Essential Service Certificate, and as well as the NEMA registration form from their end, and also the contribution from the company. So once all those documents have been prepared, we have what we call the reporting to the department stage. For the industrial relation officer there, we administer the engagement advice. There's another document called engagement advice, as well as the probation contract. The department receiving the new engagement will be informed. Those engaged employees are given identity card, issuance of the identity card. The last part, the recruitment officer shall submit the forms for registration to the senior payroll accountant. Our company has also been very instrumental in accommodating those that are studying colleges and university an opportunity to undergo the process which we call industrial attachment. Industrial attachment is a period of training in a workplace that forms part of a student's academic program. How does this program happen? The second point, it is saying universities and colleges write to our company NFCA through the Human Resources Manager. So we receive letters from universities addressed to the Human Resources Manager, requesting for students to be attached as one of the mandatory requirements, which is part of their curriculum. Students get hand-on experience in a company by applying what they learn at college or university to the real-world situations. The following are some of the reasons why industrial attachment is important. One of the purposes is to understand the workplace culture and professionalism. That is the part which is to apply educational classroom knowledge in the work environment, which I've just explained. And also to develop practical skills. So an example can be a mechanical engineering student doing industrial attachment to learn about our operations, the safety procedures that we follow, so that they even know that as I work for this company, there are these things that I need to adhere to avoid injury. Those we call them safety procedures. And equipment handling. We ensure that students on attachment undergo a number of registration, with some that are statutory requirements, such as NFCA registration. Also, we have what we call NEMA registration. So they have to go to the bank and have their account confirmed. Those students that come here at NFCA, they have to undergo industrial attachment and they sign contracts so that they are also part of the process. So upon registration, the documents are processed by the payroll accountant, and an allowance of that amount is allocated to them. I'm sure you're able to see the 1,000 there to the students. Just like it is with employment for permanent employees, even the students undergo safety inductions, security inductions, as well as human resource inductions. So after undergoing the above induction, the students on attachment report to the head of the departments, and the head of departments are informed of the engagement date so that they are able to be marked on the register, which we call the timesheet. So the record of the above inductions are well kept and maintained by the custodian, our training school. So I'm also happy to inform you that our company just recently this year approved the internship policy. This is another category. An internship is a temporary work experience, okay? That is offered by an organization or a company such as our company, NFCA, to recent graduates to gain practical exposure to a specific field or industry. So internship involves a number of activities for our knowledge and understanding. So there's what we call on-the-job training. And then we have this very important part called mentorship. And then there's a word which I've indicated there, supervision. There's another important word there which they have indicated for us called skill development. Those that come on internship, they have an opportunity to undergo what we call networking opportunities. They will be able to interact with professionals who are currently doing the job. So NFCA Mining PSU, through the Human Resource Department, the formulation of the policy, it will provide guidance and management as well as administration of the internship guidance. The policy will also ensure that engagements are conducted in a fair, transparent, safe, and development-oriented manner to benefit the company as well as the intern. And also, we have to ensure that budgeting and costing is done. The department accommodating the interns shall be responsible for providing personal protective equipment, PPE. So also, the monthly stipend payable to the intern. Under the same internship program, there are respected roles and responsibilities. The Human Resource Department shall do the following: identify the internship requirements. After identifying those requirements, we prepare a consolidated budget according to the internship needs. The user department, where those interns will be operating from, or what are they going to do? They need to be identified and ensure that the requirements and the budgets are done accordingly. And also to provide PPE in line with the safety standards, as well as appoint qualified mentors who need to assign structured task and project work to the intern. They have to monitor the progress of the intern and also liaise with the training school. And then also our training school under the Human Resource Department will coordinate the selection and placement of those coming for internship. Under the training school, they also assess the mentors and also ensure that the internship records are well kept. If there is any need to make changes in terms of corrective actions, the training school will recommend the corrective actions to be, and also serve as the custodian of the policy. Then the next slide, the selection and onboarding of those that are coming for intern. So those that are selected through the manpower office, manpower section will undergo the following. We'll receive application through our company email address, which is highlighted there. And also the interview panel shall include the personnel from the requesting department and the recruitment officer together with the training officer. And the list of successful applicants will be prepared and authorized by the manager, human resources. The successful interns will also undergo medical examination, the way it is done even with us that have been engaged for formal employment. Even those that are come on internship, they undergo security induction, human resources induction, safety induction, environmental and emergency preparedness, to ensure that these people comply with company policies, code of conduct, and adhere to safety, health, and environment requirements. Maintain also professionalism as well as confidentiality. So at this point in time, I want to thank you all for listening attentively. So I would like to find out if there are any questions from the audience. I thank you so much.